group that has the power. And that's the same sort of rationale that the Palestinians are using when they ask people to use the boycott, divestment, sanctions, BDS strategy. They're saying, look at the companies that are making money off Israeli apartheid. It's not hard to find, you can look them up. Work out ways, it may be, in which your university, your faith community, your trade union, whatever it is, do they have a relationship with those companies? I mean, have they maybe, for example, got shares, investments in those companies? Or maybe do they take supplies from that particular company? And you work out where the links are, you work out where the relationships are, and you campaign on that, and you try and get those links cut. That's just one example. Now, the reason why I like BDS, the reason why I think it's a strong strategy that the Palestinians are pursuing, just to summarize it very quickly, are four particular reasons. Number one, it makes sure that the connection between Israeli crimes and consequences is very clear. BDS is based on the documented reality of Israel's violations of international law, Israel's abuse of human rights that are all, I mean, you know, some of them around here, but you can go and look them up anytime you like, by Amnesty International, by Human Rights Watch, by Israeli human rights groups, Palestinian human rights groups. BDS is a response to those facts on the ground, if you can put it like that. BDS is also a response to the way in which Israel has enjoyed a kind of impunity with regards to its actions. Okay, so it kind of inserts accountability where to date there is a kind of impunity. But it's saying that you can't just do those things without there being any consequences. Thirdly, BDS is great as a way of educating people. As you do BDS activities on campus or wherever it is, you're actually educating people about what's going on. You know, even if the specific target that you're going for isn't met for whatever reason, the process of campaigning on it has actually educated people about what's going on as well. And fourthly, BDS is good because it actually empowers you to do something. Okay? Because it's quite easy to look at what's going on there and what's been going on for decades and feel helpless or feel like there's nothing you can do. But BDS and those sorts of activities actually give you an option that anybody can get involved with, from kind of big things to small things, as a way of responding. Encouragingly, there is also a small group of Israelis, Jewish Israelis, who support the Palestinian boycott call. In fact, I think there was one of them came to speak here, Matan Cohen, for example. So that's an encouraging development, and it exists too in, there are groups like that in the UK, like Jews for boycotting Israeli goods in the UK. And these sorts of groups are emerging across religious, ethnic lines because it's such a simple, powerful idea. Okay, it's saying that these sorts of human rights abuses, the sort of rights, the basic rights that Palestinians are routinely denied, that's not a sustainable situation. It's not a situation that's sustainable for Palestinians first and foremost, and it's also not a situation that's sustainable for Jewish Israelis either. Okay, because as Martin Luther King understood, in that sort of oppressed dynamic, okay, in a colonized dynamic, it's destructive for the group with the power as well, ultimately. And when you're kind of talking about a platform of Palestinian rights and equality, you're talking about something that will also be good for Jewish Israelis in the long run as well. So I'm going to round up there and move to a time for questions, I guess. Thanks very much.
Thank you. We now have time for a question and answer portion. Please keep your questions concise, relevant to the speaker's topic, and respectful of the speaker. You can come up to the mic on this side to ask a question. Once you have asked your question, please go back to your seat. Your question will not be answered until you sit down.
I guess that's to prevent follow-up questions. Okay. My name's Gary Faust.